might not like the situation. You will still have to work with me.
No, we don't.
I've done nothing to you.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't, son.
Yeah, you have. And you'll continue to do it because you think you haven't.
Because I think what?
You heard me.
No, I didn't. Otherwise I wouldn't have asked
Then
you.
I'm not going to repeat myself. It's not worth repeating.
Okay, turn the computer off. Or I'm gonna turn it off for you. You wanna do this now? You wanna go ahead and have the discussion now? You wanna go ahead and get it all out there in the open and get it done and over with? Or do you wanna just continue to
It's going to
fester?
be done and over with as long as we're here with you.
That's not gonna change.
Yeah, it will.
Why? Because you're videotaping her throwing a fit as a 3-year-old?
No.
And sending it to your mom, which is against the law?
I'm not sending anything to Mom.
Okay, I'm telling you, and I didn't want to push the issue, y'all aren't supposed to be communicating with your mom right now. She has done
And I
some
haven't
bad
been
things.
because I know. She hasn't done bad things. I know you would use it against her.
Right.
So,
She
yeah,
has.
you would use it against her.
She has done bad things.
No, she hasn't.
What bad things have I done?
Take us away from Mom, press criminal charges against Mom, and try to get her fired from her job. Basically make her homeless, and sit here and drag us away from our mom, and then pretend like you haven't.
Okay.
And pretend like that's not something bad.
Okay, so if I showed you right now her doing exactly the same thing that you're telling me that I'm doing to her, her canceling my lease on this house
I know she did that.
to make me homeless.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
okay.
fair's fair.
So that's okay.
You were gonna do that to her.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you were.
Trey, the house was already being sold. You don't understand the situation.
Right from underneath us before we were already out.
Now, Trey,
And
I've
yeah,
been-
call me now.
I've been over here since April. The plan was for y'all to move over here. Did you think the house was just gonna continue to stay there? Can I also show you some text messages your mom sent me from your phone, or do you know about those as well?
I know about them as well.
And that's okay
Yeah.
for her to include you in on what's going on
Oh,
with us.
she's the only one including me in?
Okay.
She's the only one including all of us in. Playing us as each other's little game pieces in your little mini war.
So you think I'm using you?
Yeah, I do.
And how am I using you, sir?
Taking us away from Mom and making her feel like shit, feel like she did something wrong.
Okay. And when she does that to me, it's okay.
No, it's not all the time, but sometimes you do something wrong and you refuse to acknowledge it.
What did I do wrong Labor Day?
You weren't listening. You were sitting there just doing whatever. You were told to do certain things and just didn't do it because you didn't feel like doing it, and instead just did whatever you wanted to do. You dragged her pool across the freaking yard, which you could have just broke it and it would have been pointless for us to have gone and stomped all over it with our muddy shoes, possibly popping it then anyways.
Did I destroy it?
Who knows? It hasn't been messed with since it's been brought here, has it?
It's not here. It's in the storage building. I don't have it.
Who knows?
Trey, like I said, there's 3 sides to every story. There's my side, her side, and then what is actually happening. I'm not trying to hurt you.
Well, you need to acknowledge that despite you not trying, you're still doing it.
I understand, Trey, that this hurts you. It is not my intentions to hurt anybody.
Well, you're still doing it.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that's happening.
Yeah, saying sorry doesn't fix it. As long as you keep doing it.
Trey, I'm doing exactly what I need to do.
No, you're doing exactly what you think is right, whether it's wrong or right.
Okay, but somebody will tell me that it's wrong.
Yeah, and you've had many people tell you it's wrong.
Okay. And who's that?
Me, Mom, And as you said yourself on the phone with the cops and that, they weren't exactly all too keen with what you were saying. So, it's coming from your mouth as well.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm fighting an uphill battle to be a part of your lives, and is it pointless for me to do that?
Probably.
Well, that's pretty sad.
Yeah. It's pretty sad, isn't it? What's even more sad is I don't care at this point. You've pushed it too far. At this point, I really hope you lose.
You have the choice to stay with your mom when she has a safe environment for you to be there.
Well, they have a choice as well.
Actually, no.
I did.
The courts will decide. And I'll show you text messages that your mom said, the courts will decide. I asked multiple times to talk to y'all. I asked multiple times to see y'all. She refused to let me. Every time this happens, she refuses to let me see y'all. And I'm doing exactly what I need to do to see y'all.
What you think is right.
No, what I know is right.
What you think is right.
But you think it's wrong.
Yeah, I do. And I know it's wrong. Because someone doesn't think dragging children out of a home with their mother is right.
Unless it's an unsafe environment and
It wasn't unsafe.
they're being abused and neglected.
We weren't being abused and neglected. The only reason why we're having someone come over and stay at the house instead of you going to work is just to showboat for the freaking court. Just to cover your own ass. Because you sit there and would leave us alone for several hours at a day with God knows how much food or drink we would have to make last until we begged you to get freaking food for us to cook, and then you'd still complain if I sit there and said, I don't want to cook dinner for everyone. Could you bring dinner? So right now, all you're doing is showboating for the court.
When did that happen?
When we were there for a month.
Here?
Yeah.
Here?
Here.
There was always food here.
Except for when I cooked it all, and when I would ask for groceries, and it
And I never
sometimes
complained.
wasn't enough.
I never complained to get you more.
No, you would complain when I would say, I don't want to cook dinner.
For
Could you
everybody.
bring dinner?
I never complained about bringing dinner home.
Yeah.
In fact, I would ask you, do you want me to bring dinner home or do you want me to cook something? That's what was said. You've
Sometimes
got
you would
me
complain.
confused with two different households.
No, I pretty much don't. I remember exactly what you said.
Okay, how many times did you fix food for everybody at the house in Tulsa when I wasn't there? And since April, multiple times.
20
Peyton
times.
probably did the same thing, multiple times. I've actually heard on the phone your
I
mom
did the same
telling
thing
y'all,
at this house. I did the same thing at this house.
you reheated
I
leftovers.
cooked food at this house as well for
Okay.
all of us.
You didn't cook for me.
Yeah, and I'll be damned if I do, ever.
Trey, you can make lemonades out of this, or you cannot. It is the situation we're in. I'm not trying to hurt you, and the
You won't.
sooner you see that, the better off you will
I-
be.
You still are.
I'm sorry that you're hurting, but it's
Well,
not me
saying
trying to hurt
sorry
you.
doesn't fix it.
Trey, I'm doing what I have to do.
No, you're not. You're doing what you want to do.
I'm just, I really hope that you get it one day.
I get it right now. I don't need any outside influence.
Who's gonna outside influence you?
You'll get it one day. You'll see it my way. Yeah, as you basically call me a dog for loving my mom and feeling concerned for her.
I have not even,
Yeah,
I
you
am
do.
not
Sit
trying
there
to
and
convince
say,
you. I am not
Mom,
trying to tell you, Trey, the conversation is not gonna go right there. Because I have never told you to hate your mom. Your mom, on the other hand, has told you, Isabella, your mom, on the other hand, has told you to hate me.
No, I
Yes,
didn't
she
need
has.
her telling me
Yes,
to hate
she
me.
has.
No,
She has told you to hate me.
I
And you
didn't
know
need
that.
her to
You
tell
know
me
that.
I hate you. No, I don't. She hadn't sit there and said, Trey, hate your dad. She had not sit there and said that. I do not need anything from her to give me any reason to hate you. I have every reason and have refused to. In fact, for the last few years, I have tried not to hate you. And then you pulled this shit.
Trey, I told you, how many months ago, that I was going to do what I had to do to be a part of your lives and separate
This
me
is
and your
not
mom.
just being a part of our lives. This is taking it
Your
too far.
mom would not let me see y'all at all. At all. She was doing things to me to get me thrown in jail and get me to lose my job and get me to lose my home.
Well, you're doing the same to her. There you go. Okay.
Okay? So why is she better than me?
Because she did become a drug addict.
What's wrong with being a drug addict? Because
You
I've
sit
been
there and
clean
abuse
for
your
over
children.
10 years.
Yeah.
And how
And
do you know?
smoked weed as you grew it in our garage?
How do you know your mom is not a drug addict? Do you know that for a fact? What kind of? Why don't you look up behavior of a drug addict?
Why are you jumping over what I just stated? As you were smoking weed as you were growing up.
That's none of your
being clean.
concern.
That's not being clean, is it? That's
That is
not
a
being
legal
clean.
drug.
That's not being clean,
It's
is
a
it?
legal drug.
That's not being clean.
I have not done the drugs that I
That's
was
not
doing.
being clean.
You're not old enough to understand being
Oh,
that.
really? So, if I point something out that I have absolute fact, truth, and
How do
absolute
you know for fact
because
or
it
truth?
smelled like weed being burnt.
Trey, how do you know for fact? You saw me smoking weed.
Yes, I did.
No, you never saw me smoking weed.
Oh,
You
and
never-
you never smoked weed. As you said, you were clean.
I did not smoke
You
weed
said
in the
you had been
garage
clean.
or whenever I was growing
You
it.
said
I
you
grew
had
it
been
for
clean.
medical.
And you sit
And
there
it's
just
not a
said
drug.
It's still a drug.
It was legal drug.
It's still a drug.
Regardless of what I did, that is neither here nor there. Way to change the subject. You have learned very well from your mother to change the subject.
I have learned from you. to
How do
sit
you
there and
know
lie.
your mom's not on drugs with the erratic
You sit
behavior
there
that
and
she's doing?
just
She's
lied to
staying
me.
up
You
all
sit
night
there and
long.
Lied to me. And you want me to sit here and just listen to you talk shit? No. You sit there and just lied to me. Right there to my freaking face.
How did I lie to you?
You said you were clean, and you said you
For
were
10
still
years, I've been
clean. You're
clean.
not clean.
I have not done methamphetamines in over 10
That's
years.
Still, weed is still a drug.
It is.
It can influence
Peyton,
you.
please don't record our conversations.
I'm not recording it. I'm listening to music.
That's why the camera's on your phone. What? Please don't make me do this.
No one's making you do anything.
Yes, you are. You're forcing my hands
No,
today.
you're not.
You are too.
You're not.
Peyton, give me your